first I'm gonna just announce tomorrow they got the big funeral or memorial for Charlie Kirk tomorrow in a football stadium where the Arizona Cardinals play at. I think that's his hometown. So they will have a memorial, and it will also be either televised or live streamed. So you will be able to watch it if you cannot attend. So that's one of the things that's going on. They got the funeral or memorial for Charlie Kirk tomorrow at what is called Glendale, Arizona, is a football stadium. They say that stadium holds. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry, 1234. Appreciate you. Hey, Jerry, you starting it off right. Let's get this party started right. Thank you, Jerry. Good morning to you, or afternoon. It depends on where you at. But thank you for chiming in. But they are holding the ceremony for Charlie Kirk tomorrow for those who are interested in attending. As we know, it was big news, with the comedian Jimmy Kimmel had made a statement. And the statement that he made, this is the statement that got him fired, suspended, or whatever the case may be. Jimmy Kimmel said that the suspect was MAGA, was one of their own. And when I tell you, MAGA world went on fire, they got upset. No, he's a liberal. He wasn't one of us. And because they can't handle the truth, right? They trying to change the whole narrative, and say that he was liberal. They got interviews from some of his close friends, right? And they said he wasn't really vocal like that about politics anyway. So it wasn't necessarily about politics. He just probably had certain views about certain things. Anybody who hates his brother will not inherit the kingdom. Right. So don't hate black people. Jeremy Willis, make sure you don't hate black people, man. And I'm not talking about that fake love that some of y'all give, but that was a good message that you say. But we can't be hypocritical and try to say it for one side. Who don't love his brother. Jerry 123, like your voice, very chill. Thank you, Jerry 123, man. Thank you, Jerry 123, man. But Jeremy, we want to love everybody, man. And that has not always happened in this country, to be honest with it, right? Even within the church, even with the holy of the holies, the preachers, the reverends, they wasn't loving their brother as you just spoke, man. So I appreciate you speaking the truth, Jeremy Willis. But we know that this country has fell short when it comes to first black people and then other minorities as well, but especially black people. We got documentation. It cannot be denied. We got history books. And I know President Trump has trying to, wind it back. We want to take away history. We don't want to look at, we don't want to go in a museum and see this and see that because they can't handle the truth. But thank you, Jeremy Willis, for bringing that up. Said he who don't love his brother. This is what Jeremy said in the comment. Jeremy said, he that does not love his brother will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So if that's true, Jeremy, there's a lot of people who have passed on who have not or will not see the kingdom of heaven if they did not repent. So as I was saying, going back to Jimmy Kimmel, man, Jimmy Kimmel had got suspended, terminated, or whatever it may be, right? And a lot of people from the right celebrating, yeah, it's like so hypocritical, and he didn't say nothing disparaging about Charlie Kirk. He just said that the suspect, right, was MAGA. His whole family was MAGA, and that drove them crazy, man, right? And they was wishing, and Trump was saying, fire anybody that don't agree with him. Matt says Kimmel lied and shouldn't have. He didn't lie, man. I know conservative media got y'all twisted. These podcasts, they don't tell the truth. It's not certain that man wasn't left. His whole entire family was MAGA. His grandma even said they was MAGA, but that's beside the point, man. Langston, Donald Trump is going crazy. We gonna we're gonna go back to that. That is what he said. All he said was that the suspect was MAGA, and that's what they got mad with, and Trump calling for him. But guess what, Matt? I know you don't know this. Check out your news. It's probably too early this morning, but they're in talks with Jimmy Kimmel to bring Jimmy Kimmel back on as soon as possible. See, all this with the Trump doing with the attack on freedom of speech, everybody's not going for that. DLS said Trump's been crazy and lies every day. It said in-house fighting on the right. Yes, there's a lot of fighting on the right. There's a lot going on, man, and it's going to implode. It already been imploding with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They had issues in the fallout. Matt said he don't agree with why they let him go. That was like an iffy. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt, on that. But now they're in talks with bringing him back. And the reason being because not only did the late night comedians stand with Jimmy Kimmel, but a lot of people behind the scenes stood with Jimmy Kimmel, right? So now they're ready to hire him back. And that's the thing. They weren't necessarily standing up for Jimmy Kimmel. They were standing up, right, for the rights of freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. That's what they were standing up for. Langston said the right and MAGA are at war with each other. Yes, especially about those files, right? They want them files. People want the files, but is it, they know Trump in there. They already been told that Trump is in the files, and that's why they protecting it. Some don't want to release it, and some saying, listen, man, we got to release the files, but they don't want to go down that rabbit hole because they don't know exactly where is going to take everybody. This is fascism. DLS said this is fascism, folks. Wake the F up. It's fascism. But we all right. Not me. I'm not all right with it. But I'm just saying enough of the population is all right with it, right? Because in their mind, some people think it's not going to affect me. As long as it's going to affect me, I'm cool. It's only going to affect Black people, the LGBTQ community, is only going to affect Latinos. So if I'm a white person, in my mind, I might think that it will not affect me. My man said, somebody see how they do. My man said, that looks like a prison shirt. For the sake of you, man, what's his name? Sibal 5. It's a prison shirt then, man. If you want to see it as a prison shirt, because y'all see people how you want to see people. So if you see this as a prison shirt, my man, I'm going to let you in your mind feel like it's a prison shirt. I'm not even going to try to tell you what it is. Matt said, it's not fascism. Okay. It is, man. Oligarchy, dictatorship. Donald Trump. Are you aware that Donald Trump is firing the attorney general because the attorney general is not going after somebody he wanted him to go after? And they investigated. They just could not find any charges. So he want to fire people. That is fascism. It is. Rad said, hey, it's a Rajan the Zarar. Hey, Rajan. They will find out. Chicken will come home to roost for the right. It said, DL said, it's effing textbook fascism playbook all day, man. Listen, it's so crazy because we watching it unfold. They coming after attorneys. Somebody said, what's fascism? Hey, we ain't got time for that, man. We may have time later on, but I'm on to something else. So this is what happened in this country, right? Trump has gone after students, college students, right? He have gone after college professors, right? He have threatened universities. He have threatened law firms. So what it is, everybody got, even businesses, everybody got a kowtow down to him, right? Because if not, he had threatened, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take this from you, I'm gonna take that from you. That's kind of what fascism, We can't spend much time to explain that to you, man. Look on your phone real quick and you'll find out. Look on your phones, what's called Cebal 5. Cebal 5, look on your phone and find out what fascism is. But that's what it is, man. We got a president who wants to be a dictatorship. He want to control everything. He want to control jobs. If they say something against this person, we want y'all to fire him. Trump, you doing too much. I want this comedian off. I want that comedian off. Donald Trump is going after Black history, slavery, all that. He's going after these museums. You know, they got that one picture with the man in the back with all them whoops. That's from a whip. Those are real whip things. He said a white family should not have to go and look at that. And that was, you know, kind of his reasoning for saying that he want to take stuff like that down. Why you want to attack Black history? Why? What are you afraid with history? Because if people don't learn about their history, they bound to repeat it. Langston said, I'm in Washington, D.C. Hey, Langston, be safe out there, man. All my brothers and sisters, I want to say this real quick before I go on. My brothers and sisters in Washington, D.C., and Memphis, be safe. We already got to be safe, right? Because we got street violence and all that. But be safe when you got the government out there, and then he want armed government against American citizens. The Daily Drift said, what is your state? Daily Drift, you ain't give no information. You ain't say where you from or any of that. DC is safer now. Okay, Bob Dole, he's using the name Bob Dole, right? So that means I would suggest that you're a Trump supporter and probably support everything he does, right? Do you agree with him attacking other? He had the right to go after DC. He's in Memphis now. Do you, Bob, do you agree with Trump going after other Black cities? Because you just threw out DC is safer. So evidently you support everything he said. Somebody said, I'm in, okay, the deli is in Tennessee. You don't know your history. That's obvious. You don't. Terry. But I expect that, man. I'm not even going to entertain him as long as he come with the negative. Give the gays enough. Daily Drift said, I appreciate that. There's no such thing as a Black city. Okay. It's all white city. But I expect that from you, man. Bob, I expect that. Listen, I ain't gonna really get into it though, but if you keep talking, man, I'm gonna expose you. This is for you, Bob, right? I don't know if this is your first time on my live, but I appreciate your opinion. I respect all that. But what city, when I say Black city, I'm just talking about majority Black, Bob. Well, if you are Tennessee, vote for Monty Fritt. Okay, I can't speak on that because I don't know what's going on specifically inside that. But the Daily Drip said, if you're in Tennessee, vote for, what is it, Monty Fritz. Okay. Listen, and let me continue on. I was actually talking about Jimmy Kimmel. You know, they had suspended him or /fired him, whatever it may be. A lot of people pushed back against Trump because that's where it came from, and this administration. And they said, nah, we ain't standing for that. So now Disney is currently in talks with Jimmy Kimmel to bring him back on. So Jimmy Kimmel will be back on TV. I don't know when, but they're in the talks now of trying to bring him back in. Durag said, of course, the most evil people will agree with what he is doing because it's always benefit them. They see we are not falling for the same tricks. Now they mad. Yeah, right. You can't be a Black person that's speaking up, act like you got some sense. Man, they're like, man, I remember the days we can just hang them. Okay. All my brothers and sisters, man, I encourage y'all to be aware. You know, keep your head on the swivel, watch your surroundings. They said Kimmel's joke was that bad. Anything Trump do, y'all follow right with him. Chrissy said fake news. Okay. Ellie said, I'm a conservative, but I would listen to what you have to say, like your positive attitude. But thank you. He said his rating way down. Some said that, but then they said his rating amongst young people is up. And I'm gonna tell you why that's important, Jeff. The rating, when advertisers pay, they pay more for younger people, even if they might have more older people watching. They say advertisers pay more for young people, so advertisers were still on him. He should start his own show. That's what I say, but it's hard to start from the beginning. But you got to do like Don Lemon did. They fired Don Lemon. Where Don Lemon at? Don Lemon went on YouTube, and Don Lemon is killing them. You can't pay Don Lemon to come back to no show right now, because Don Lemon did just that, Langston. He made his own show. Sean, thank you for your words. Somebody said, what was Jimmy Kimmel's jokes? I didn't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not here advocating for Jimmy Kimmel. I'm speaking about the First Amendment rights. Everybody on this live, everybody in America should be standing up for our First Amendment rights. But y'all, some of y'all feel like that's not going to affect me because I'm a white person. I'm a conservative. I'm MAGA or whatever. But listen, man, if y'all continue to allow Trump to do what he's doing, it will eventually affect you. Which MF watching Jimmy? Are you serious? I don't watch it either. Somebody said Don Lemon is a puppet. Don got fired, right? Yeah, he got fired. That's what I'm saying. But he doing his thing, and he ain't miss a beat. So Don got fired. He took that thing to YouTube and probably making just as much money through YouTube as he did at his job. Richard said Epstein files and inflation. Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. The Epstein files are serious. They said Trump wrote on the birthday card, you're a great man. I love the kids you're bringing. I'm just joking about the kids thing. Even, that's not a joking matter. But Trump is all in the files. And now Trump's saying it's a hoax. Man, the family turned over the card with your signature on there. And some of the experts matched his signature. I don't know why he got fired, man. I'm not even dealing with that. See how y'all try to, somebody said, you research, you got your phone, pull your phone up. I think Trump is going too far with restricting free speech. I'm disappointed in his second term. Yeah, Trump, he going a lot further. And if you notice, a lot of billionaires got behind him this time. A lot of billionaires. So Trump got to dance to the beat of the drum too. Trump got them billionaires to ask for, to answer to. I said ask for. He got these billionaires to satisfy. So right now, MAGA is not his first priority. Trump's first priority is his billionaire buddies. So he got to make decisions and executive orders to benefit them. It's somebody said you kind of have a slight resemblance to UFC legend DC. Keith said, tell a joke is what I meant. Oh, he wants somebody to tell a joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? But Biden wanted to restrict hate speech. Neither party is for the First Amendment. Listen, man, we have to be honest, man. What's going on right now? And I know y'all want to go back to Biden. Some of y'all going to go way back to Bill Clinton. Some of y'all going to talk about, well, Obama did this. Obama tripped when he walked in the White House one day. Y'all going to continue to look the other way. We got some real stuff going on right now in this White House, man, right? First of all, and y'all might not agree with me. I know a lot of y'all won't. We got a racist president. Trump has a lot of racist ways. He support these neo-Nazi and racist organizations, right? So you can't compare what we got now to Biden. You can look back to Clinton. You can look back to anybody you want to look back to, but we got to deal with what's going on right now. Somebody said first order. Okay. Keith said, no, I meant Jimmy didn't tell a joke. He told the truth. And that's the problem. Right. Oh, Keith, my fault. I understand exactly what you're saying, Keith. That was my fault. That's what the problem is. That's why Trump and them was so heated. They don't like the truth, right? They want to whitewash the truth. They want to change this. They want to change that. That's the main reason for going after African American history. They want to take all that out the museums. We're tired of looking at it. As Jimmy was pointing out that Tyler was raised by MAGA parents. Exactly. Richard said, truthfully. Thank you, Richard. That was a good point. And he was raised by MAGA parents. He had MAGA views, but just because you got MAGA views, everybody don't agree with every specific thing. Like we had somebody in the comment today said they straight conservative, but they don't agree with everything that Trump's doing. And anybody in their own mind probably disagree with a few things that Trump is doing or that anybody is doing. Man, don't nobody agree with each other 100%. A husband and wife does not agree with one another 100%. Some do-rag said, when Bill Clinton was the president, I was a teen and literally watched them round up all the elder men in our community for petty crimes, even jaywalking, America's lives on destroying Black folks. Yeah, but that was bipartisan. Right now, it's nothing that is bipartisan. Thanks for sharing that, do-rag. That was a bipartisan. That was Democrats and Republican. The crime bill, do your research, man. That wasn't just the Democrats and the Republicans went against it. The Republicans was in that too. So anything that you say that happened during that time, it was bipartisan. That means both parties supported it. He gay trans lover, they say. Okay, that's what they say. What did that mean? Did that make him because he loves a trans that, oh, he's liberal? Y'all got it twisted, man. Stop following them lies. Allegedly. Yeah, you got to say, thank you, Warrior. Say you got to always remember to say allegedly. Allegedly. Richard say also that both true. Dialogue is done. Yeah, yeah. But they were never open to no dialogue. Deli said Trump is not racist. He has a lot of minorities in his administration. Cass Patel, Marco Rubio. Listen, man, where the Black people at? And don't tell me he's over HUD. We got somebody over HUD. That's what they did last time to man. Dr. Ben Carson is a neurosurgeon, and his last term, he gave Dr. Ben Carson the position of HUD, just like he did with the Black guy this time. So name some Black people. Okay, you said Marco Rubio, and he was so disrespectful to Marco Little Rubio. And now Marco Rubio is bowing down to him in his administration. If you agree 100% with anybody other than God, then you have a serious problem. Keith, thank you. He's a new Dylan Roof member. That flag, they got a flag too. Okay, Kevin Gates from when? Ain't no Kevin Gates. Somebody said Ben Carson is Black. That's what I said. He gave Ben Carson a deli drift. You missed my point. Ben Carson is a neurosurgeon, meaning he was qualified to be the Surgeon General. President Trump hired him for HUD, meaning you over the projects, housing and urban development. This term, President Trump again hires the Black guy, right, over HUD, meaning you over the projects, a position that really white folks don't want that position. You over the project. So that's all I was saying about that. Tim Cook, yeah. They say he's a goofball. Trump and Tim Scott are buddies. Yeah, they buddies. Tim Scott, if you tap dance for Trump, right? If I was the type of dude that tap dance for Trump, tap dance. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He'll love me. He'll love you too, as long as you tap dancing to his music. But you can't come to him being who you are. I can't go to him being a Black man and being proud to be a Black man. Scott was up there that one day. He said, I'm just happy to be here. I agree with everything you say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how they want us to be, man. You know, Donald supported Trump. Byron Donald's butt buddies. He did Timmy dirty, real dirty. Him was a soldier, man. He was a soldier for that man. Held that man down, right? And didn't get no real position. Just be my sidekick. He told him, black people won't respect a white head of Section 8. Maybe those on Section 8 should get jobs instead of having their hands out. Okay, there we go. Now, this is some of the stuff that Charlie Kirk taught y'all, man. And that's why y'all don't see it as racist, because y'all repeat all that stuff. He did this and he did that, and blacks can't think in their brains. Man, we some of the most magnificent people, even creating like the light bulb, but we ain't have control. So Thomas, he created it, but it really came from a black man. So a lot of y'all say this Charlie Kirk stuff, which is inaccurate. And we do have some issues to deal with it within our community. I'm a realist to say that. But y'all, some of y'all intentions for saying it is not to, okay, we see where y'all hurting at. We're going to provide these programs to help y'all out. It ain't about that. It's about, first of all, keeping us beneath them, right? And let me say this, what jobs? Trump ruined the economy and the numbers. Yeah. Who was you pulling for? Trump did everyone wrong. Yeah, but he hired his boy because he know his boy just like him. JD, they say JD just like him. I guess just a calmer version. Said, be honest, you would despise a white head of Section 8. I wouldn't despise. No, see how the stereotype. And this is another thing too, man, with the misconception. Let me go and get into this, y'all, with the misconceptions. And it came from Charlie Kirk as well, about DEI. Black folks so far down the list, we like fifth on the list. You got white women, you got white men under DEI. I want y'all to do your research. But he having y'all thinking DEI is black people. And he gonna make the remark, if I get on the plane and see a black pilot, I'm gonna wonder if he DEI. Man, we so far down on the list, man. Black people probably fifth on that DEI list. But when y'all hear the word DEI, because of Charlie Kirk and because of President Trump, y'all think it's black people. No, it's white women. The number one, and behind them will be white men. I say, we don't hate Charlie. We just don't. Thank you, Richard, because I don't hate nobody, no man. But you're not going to force me to tell me that's my hero when it's far from the truth. Durug, there wouldn't be Section 8 if we weren't allowed the same generational wealth. That's all I'm going to say. And if they don't destroy our communities, Section 8 would definitely be most used by white people. Durag, you hit the nail on the head, man. But since we know that, right? And it's kind of hard because if this is the starting line, we back here. We got to at least get back up to at least the starting line. Now, I'm not talking about the finish line. This is the starting line, and we're back here. So we got to get back on our A game and get it right. But thank you for sharing that do-rag. Richard said Vance called Trump America's Hitler. Yeah, he had to change. A lot of them changed their tune. Like I told you, Marco Rubio, Trump used to disrespect him, treat him like a rag doll. Little Marco Rubio. But now, he went to him, and now this man, first I'd have been like, Trump, what about, you're going to apologize? He ain't even do that. He just fell into Trump's arm. I just love you so much. I'm glad that you having me. So stop ranting and please answer the question. Okay, Michael, what's your question? A white person can be a head of Section 8. That ain't just a black job. See, I can tell, Michael, I'm very intelligent, and I can tell how you speak that you on a racism spectrum. You might not be the one that go out and kill people or whatever, but you on that spectrum because of your rhetoric. And you might not know no better. You might have been taught this all your life, but Michael, with a sure heart, you're on that spectrum. He said, stop ranting. See how you would look at me and say, stop. Did you tell Charlie to stop ranting? Because that's all he did. A white person could be the head. I already answered your question, Michael. How come there's black colleges and no Mexican colleges? Because Mexicans didn't create them, right? Let me give you a history on the black colleges, right? HBCUs are what they call historically black colleges and universities. I'm answering this question for Jeff Hagerman. He said, how come there are black colleges but not Mexican colleges? Black people, when black people got out of slavery, they were not allowed to attend schools and universities and all that. So slaves took their little bit of money, put it together, and created their own schools. You understand that? I hope that I ain't got to take you through the whole lesson, but to answer your question, Mexicans didn't feel like they needed to do that because they can go to either one, right? Black people at the time were not allowed to go to white institutions. Did you know that? Did you know that, Jeff? Richard said, Jeffrey, you silly goose. But that's the reality, man. Listen, a lot of us, no, so blacks started their own schools. Yes, blacks started. Don't tell me. Listen, man. Steve McCall Sr. I know. Don't tell me you didn't understand. I know they're not going to teach you nothing. But yes, so blacks started their own schools, man. Yes, they did. Right? Research the history of Alabama State. Right? Research the Divine Nine. Look this stuff up, man. It be messing me up. I got to go so far back for some of y'all, but some of y'all be playing. Some of y'all, I will hope, know the truth, right? Seeds, please tell me you knew that. So I didn't know that in 25. Jeff said didn't know that. It's 20. Jeff said he didn't know that. And it's 2025. Seeds said, I agree with you. Okay, thank you, Seeds. All I'm saying is we created our own schools. Maybe we got to get back to the mindset of creating our own other stuff too. Ice Cold Breezy saying they go over curriculum like how to maintain and run the set. Johnny said Kirk equal racism. More white people are on welfare than other ethnic groups. T. Craig, that's another thing too, right? But it's a perception. And even Charlie Kirk like pushed this narrative. And if you don't know, you won't know. We're the ones that's benefiting, right? Just because you don't live in the projects don't mean you're not under Section 8 guidelines. You can have a townhouse, right? But they're going to put us in those type places so we'll be identified. We're going to be in the projects. When they give assistance to white people, they might be in a different community, just mixed in, but still be under them same government programs within the community. So thanks for sharing that, man. That was T. Craig. Thanks for sharing that. Michael said, not by a percentage, T. Craig. Can't live in 18. Jeff said you can't live in 1880. We're not living in 1880, right? We here. And that's the thing. Since 1865, after being, we weren't made free, we were set free. There's a difference between being set free and being made free. But I'm going to say that for another day. I already got a video out about that. Check that video out. But after being set free by 1970, we were trying to get involved with the politics, right? White folks created the Ku Klux Klan and was killing black people. So it was a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that happen that white folks don't want to take responsibility for, never took responsibility for. But okay, we still here. And that's the point. Truth sets you free. The truth make you free. Jeff Hagerman, let me clarify that. Being set free, when I say being set free, this is an example of being set free. You ever seen a dog be let out of the cage and he just run around so fast, nowhere to go, no purpose? That's to be set free. To be made free is a process. It's in your mind. Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Thank you for sharing half truths, Jeff. But you have to be made free. You can't, you want to be set free too, but you got to be made free. CK and George Floyd share the same birthday. Oh, Keith, I didn't know that. Boy, you did your research. Wow. Balance. Both passed away from that. Oh, I know the truth. I know that, Keith, but I didn't even think that. He said they both passed away from neck injury. Boy, you did your research. Keith, you did your research on that. We don't glorify, in that, but I understand exactly what you're saying. Ice Cold Breeze said, never taking responsibility for something I didn't do, and that happened decades ago. Thank you. But you have reaped, there's people who reap benefits, right? Because this nation was built on the backs of slaves, right? And if your family got inherited land, some of the land was taken. That's another thing that happened when African Americans were set free. They, in addition to opening schools, they also bought land. They knew the importance of land and having somewhere to rest their head. Over time, judges and them try to create the taxes, and they end up taking their land. Or when one relative died, the other relative don't know how to pay the taxes or keep it up, and they end up taking it. Or they come to them with a little bit of money and cheated them out of thousands of acres of land. America's number one because of slavery. It was. Richard, yeah. Your Lord, the one who sets you free. I'm not talking about the world freeing you. Yeah, but it got to be made free. The Lord don't set you free. Let's keep the word in contact. And why it's so important to me, because anybody can be set free. You can get released from jail. They set you free from prison, right? If you ain't got your mind right, you probably going to end up in what's called recidivism. You're going to get out there with no purpose and might end up doing the same thing, and you'll be back in prison. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. The Lord can set you free all he wants, but you have to be made free, and only come by knowing the truth. Sharecroppers. Okay, Warrior says sharecroppers. You call them any name you want. Yeah, they went to sharecroppers. Some people did work for land. Some people saved up their money and just purchased the land. Ask the bank if they forgive your debt just for it being old. Oh, no, they're not going to forgive it. That's a powerful. Ask the bank if they're going to forgive you for your debt. That's old. We got to forget that. No, you still got to be held accountable for that. Richard, laugh out loud. Man, y'all, listen, man, y'all making some strong points, man. Y'all making some strong points. But I am going to say this before I get into Jasmine Crockett. I'm going to say this, right? We got to do better, and we can do better. You can see people even on this comment that's holding their own, free thinkers, adding to the conversation. Much respect to y'all, but we got to encourage our brothers and sisters to do better, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it's rough. I know it's hard out there. Jeremy said, Jeremy's a funny dude, man. Hey, Jeremy, sign up for the Apollo Theater, man. See what they say. Is that that's God about the statute of limitations. God ain't make no statute of limitation. Man made that. And you know who made it? White men, right? And who they make it for? They made it for white people, man. So he said, ask God like God made that. Excuse me. Richard said, ask God about the statute of limitation. There are none, because if I did something years ago, I will be held accountable. Y'all might not see it, but I understand what you're saying, Richard. God ain't going for that statute of limitations and all that. We will be held accountable. I just want to encourage my brothers, man. First, I'm going to say, before I go on into Jasmine Crockett, I want to say, man, brothers and sisters, pay attention, man. When I saw that video about that young brother that went to the party with all the white boys and he got jumped on, all I can think of in my mind was, I wonder if that young brother knew about his history. Because me knowing about my history, ain't no way in the world I'm going to an all-white party. They could invite me and say, yo, we want to throw you a party. Okay. I'm not going to be there. You can throw the party all you want to do. Throw it. I'm not going to be there. So I don't know what encouraged the 14-year-old black guy to go to that party with all them white people. right? And they beat him up. They say that they tried to throw him in the grinder. Trump didn't mention one thing about it. J.D. Vance didn't speak one word about it. Somebody said theory. Get Out. Okay. Is Get Out, you talking about the movie or what you talking about? So what I'm saying is nowhere in the world I would have went, me personally, knowing my history, I would not have went to an all-white party. If we're talking about slavery, why not bring up the fact that Africans sold Africans as slaves? I thought we were talking real history. Those were rare cases, right? And they didn't sell their own people. They might have been from a different tribe, had battles, captured people within battles, right? Africa is a continent, and they had different tribes. They got different countries. Just like it ain't all one white people. You got all different kinds of Europeans. But thank you for sharing that. Emancipation Proclamation is to transfer you from one power and set under another authority. To proclaim is only a word salad, not a law or statute. Thank you, T. Craig. T. Craig, you on it, man. T. Craig, I might have to bring you on here as a guest one time, because that numbers was minuscule and they didn't treat them like you did, JH. Facts. They treated them humane. They said this slavery, chattel slavery, was some of the most inhumane slavery. Like the movies that we see, we be like, oh, they say it's way worse than the movies that they put out. True slavery is way worse. And that's part of the reason Trump and them want to say, it's too hard to go in these museums and see this pictures. They ain't even show us the real stuff. It was even worse than that. American slavery is by far the worst example. Yes, Richard, by far. J.A. said, I wasn't even alive. That's the point, right? But your parents were, and your forefathers were, and y'all benefited from it to some degree. We're not blaming you, J.H. We're not on here blaming you. We're just saying that's something that happened that cannot be forgotten. Just like you agree with what happened in Germany, right? You wasn't born when the Jews was in Germany, right? And the horrific stuff that happened to them in Germany, and you would agree that that should never happen again, JH. Am I correct? You would agree that what happened to the Jews, the so-called Jews in Germany, should never happen again. And you wasn't born then, right? Don't you agree with that, JH? I don't think you was born in the 40s, sir. When you see the documentaries with the homes in the streets, underwater, under lakes, yes, you cannot forget. You cannot. Yeah, they talk about the cities, and I think that's what saying is talking about the cities, man, that was destroyed, that Black people have made. And it's like in the 1900s, we ain't even talking about 18, we'd have moved to the 1900s. There have been several cities. You know how we mentioned Black Wall Street and they burned it down. And there's others too that they not only burned down, they're in lakes, they're under lakes. It's documented that there's lakes that have former Black cities under it, right? That were thriving Black cities. But thank you, Sam. Thank you for sharing that. And back to you, JH. We not blaming you. Nobody's blaming nobody, because we survivors, man. My people here, we strong as ever, right? But the reality is, even though we here, we still get hate. We still get hate in 2025. And right now we're getting hate from a president of the United States. So that's it. And I know you say you wasn't even alive. Don't keep the energy going then. You can say you weren't alive, but if you follow the madness, then you're still a part of it. If you continue on the legacy, then you're still a part of that. We know you wasn't even alive, but don't keep the legacy going. Do not keep the legacy going. When you see the documentaries with the homes, the streets, did you know white people were slaves? The silent one. They were indentured servants. They were never slaves to the point as African Americans were in this country. it was a totally different thing, man. But thanks for sharing that. Thank you. It said the silent one. Thank you, the silent one, for sharing that information. So let me go to Jasmine Crockett, right? Let me go to Jasmine Crockett. Hey, make sure y'all like this video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. But what I'm saying is we still uphold things from the past, but we pick and choose what that is. No one was alive for the adoption of the Declaration. Ooh, just one me. I gotta have you as a guest. Just one me. Listen, man, we gotta listen to just one me, because she's responding to how we say that was way back, but she's saying we acknowledge the Declaration of Independence, right? That was, and you were not born, JH, and others like you to try to dismiss stuff and say, well, I wasn't born, but yeah, you still practice that, you still benefit from that. The Declaration of Independence, everyone celebrates the 4th, right, is what she said. So that's that good point. Yes, you are right, though, the silent one. Thank you. American slavery was the first race-based slavery where others from the Bible, you were working off a debt. Right. Also, Hitler modeled his action toward the Jews after American slavery. Yeah, he learned that from over. They said he came over here, you know, peeping game, and like, okay, that's how you do it. And he did learn a lot of stuff from America, right? But America is not going to bear no responsibility for that in their mind. We didn't do it. We're good people. We were against it, is what they would say. Keith said American, okay, I already got that. Saying, to me, plantation homes are burning up. Too many Caucasians are dying on the same lakes that the homes are under. The water is not a coincidence. Stan, I want to share this with you too. This was it this year or was it 2025 or late 24? Anyway, you know, the biggest plantation just burnt up recently. The biggest, and they could not put it out. The biggest slave plantation that just burned up recently. I would like to say it was earlier this year. If I'm not mistaken, it was earlier this year. And I'm just sharing that to go with your point, as you saying about these lakes and stuff is happening. Right. Some people might say that's our ancestors, you know, or it could be karma, it could be whatever you want to call it, but saying you're making a good point. But also look up the, and I know you probably already know about it, the biggest slave plantation just burnt up this year, early this year, if I'm not mistaken. Durag said we were reclassified. We blacks, Negro. Durag, you're right. Yeah, there was a lot of classification. He said 9 times. I would have to really look and see specifically. I ain't never come up with the number, but that's a good point. He said 9 times before calling us African Americans. And he said some of us are not Africans. He said some of us are indigenous to this land. We here, we was already here. But even with that, Durag, full circle, you would still be African, or, you know, from the motherland of Kimmel, with, you know, so you still connected to the motherland, even if you was already here, because that's the motherland of civilization. If people hate the country so bad, why they say, why they stay in America? Yeah. If you don't like America, you can get out of America. That's what they say, man, right? That's what their hearts say. That's what some of them verbally say, like he just said in the comment. You don't like America, you can leave. Well, where you gonna go, man? Because y'all don't own this. They like to claim ownership of it. It said, if people hate the country. Just one me, said Jeff. Who are you referring to? We can almost guess who he's referring to, but great question. She said, who are you referring to, Jeff? Because you always do that. You can leave. Well, where you gonna go? So see, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. And it's so crazy. We've been good, man. To be treated how we've been treated by y'all We've been forgiving, lovable, and all that. We've been good to y'all, man. But guess what? That ain't good enough, because anything wrong, y'all put foot in our behind. Anything go wrong, y'all try to put foot on our behind. But them days are over with, man. The silent one said he's talking about me. He wasn't talking about you. He was talking. Say anybody. Okay, okay. Austin V said, "Who's y'all?" I refuse to pay for my own demise. People mean okay. I just wish people would listen to Craig, Dick Gregory, and stop funding. We need to stop funding our own demise. Basically, what saying is saying, man, don't just shop anywhere. They need to earn our dollar. But we support, and then we rappers and professionals, and we support Bugatti, we support, and I'm just starting up there. I'm not just talking about only them. I'm talking about even your local grocery store. If they on that stuff, man, don't spend with them. Period. We need to start building our own, spending with our own, man, and spend with those who respect us. At least outwardly showing that you respect us, even if you don't respect us in your heart. I just wish people would listen to Dick Gregory and stop funding. We need to stop funding our own demise. We paying for it. Yeah, I just bought a Bugatti, or I just bought this name brand, or bought that name brand. Saying you bringing it home. Saying is bringing it to the house. Jeff, you got a problem with American speech. Why don't you leave? Right. Jeff said, this is free speech channel, right? Boy, Jeff, man, I don't understand, man. I mean, I do understand, but why some of y'all do the stuff that y'all do, I do understand. But the thing is, man, try to do better. My thing, this is where I'm at. And this is where a lot of my people's at, man. Don't start none, it won't be none. Don't mess with us, man. We not messing with, we don't go get no trucks and go hunting for white folks. We're not known for doing that. You hear me, Jeff? Austin B says shop local. Yeah. And also build our own, man. Soon we get money, we want to go outside of our community. And that's part of what Sam was saying. Even if Sam wasn't really saying that, it goes along with that. You know, we just want to, I got a Rolls Royce. What do Rolls Royce care about the black community? Does Bugatti care about the black community? For you to give that much, and I know we need a vehicle to go from A to B, but you done invested this much money in a vehicle, a company that just cares nothing about you or your people. So that's my thing on that. Great point, man. So I didn't even get into, Jasmine Crockett part, and with the Jasmine Crockett, I'm gonna talk about Tyler Reed. Tyler Reed was found hung from a tree at the university, Delta State University, right? So they found him hanging. The campus has footage, but no footage is put out. They don't know. They ruled it a suicide. Come to find out, leg broken, arm broken. So you mean to tell me somebody broke their leg, broke their arm, and hung themselves? So the family, as I mentioned the other day, they hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and Ben Crump is on it. He said, listen, man, we need to view that footage. You just can't tell us in 2025, you can't piss on our head and tell us it's raining. We need that video footage that y'all trying to hide. And now Colin Kaepernick, that came out, he said he's going to pay for another autopsy. And Jasmine Crockett, how she comes into this story is she's going to pay for the funeral, the whole funeral. So the funeral is going to be paid for. Now they're going to pay for Colin Kaepernick is going to also pay for the another autopsy. Bill Black was working better. Bill Black was, we need to get back to that, man. They even claim he had no broken bones. Very odd. Okay, so there are confident. Eli, thank you for sharing that. Eli, because you know, one story they said he had a broken leg or whatever, but if he got bruises, you don't get bruises from hanging yourself, other than your neck. You know, if that's where you're hanging yourself from. But they got to get to the bottom of this, and Ben Crumb is going to do this, man. Because my question was all along, don't the campus got footage? Why are they not showing it? That would be the main thing you would show first. Somebody found hung. This is the surveillance. We need to search every camera nearby. Why? Because we need to find out what's going on. Because what? Black lives do matter. Black lives are just as important as a white life. But they don't act like that. Sometimes we don't act like that in our society. Dr. J, welcome to the chat. We're just talking about a student who was found hung at a college in Mississippi. We're talking about the student who was found hung in a college in Mississippi. They quickly ruled it a suicide, right? The reality is there's surveillance on the campus. Dr. J said, remember to double tap that screen on your way into this live stream. Thank you, Dr. J. Black matters don't. Robert said, what is he saying? Okay. I'm not even reading your comment, man, because you're coming with some BS, Robert Ward. They need to show that footage. Jeff said they need to show that footage. That's the thing. Yes, they need to show that footage. Because if everything on the up and up, show the footage. Why? We talk about transparency. We talk about transparency. But let me say this real quick. If you have not done it already, first of all, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're ready for the stuff that I'm bringing, man. Because I try to bring the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. But I want to thank y'all again for being here. But, you know, back to the story. His name is Tyler Reed. The crazy thing about it, well, it's not crazy. They're not giving him no airplay on the news. I might have heard one story. That Charlie Kirk thing, you're hearing it all day. And I understand, you know, it was tragic what happened to him, but they not talking nothing about this story. We had some kids that was killed at a school. They're not talking about that. There's a lot going on, but I'm getting back focused on Tyler Reed, man. They quickly ruled it a suicide. Now, there's conflicting stories. One story said his leg and arm was broken. If your leg and arm is broken, you know you didn't hang yourself. There's other factors. And we have footage. Why not release the footage? Tell the truth. Be transparent, right? And stop being so quick to say, oh, this was just a suicide. Candace is spreading some wild theories. She has lost her mind. Canadian said, yeah. But right now, Canadian, we are talking about a student, a young African American by the name of Tyler. They call him Tyler for short. Tyler Reed. He was found hanging from a tree, right? In Mississippi, Delta State University. And the thing is, we just want answers. So as I said, the family hired attorney Ben Crump, right? Colin Kaepernick stepped up to the plate. And if those who don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, he's a quarterback that they was on him because he used to kneel. I mean, when they were standing for the pledge, all he did was kneel. Man, when you say white America was mad at this black man because he said, my people getting killed in the street, I'm not honoring this flag that's supporting the killing. And that's why they came out with Black Lives Matter. I'm not talking about the organization. I'm just talking about the idea that Black Lives Matter, right? But they ousted this man. But anyway, Colin Kaepernick has agreed to pay for this another autopsy for Tyler Reed. It said that footage would just show who the most vicious species of human to ever walk the earth once again has done it. Yeah, and for them to see it, it's so crazy, man. Somebody looked at that and saw whatever's on that video and try to cover it up. But that's the world we live in. But white people tell you everything's different now. We all love everybody and this and that. There's no this and that, and to lie. So, yeah. But racist troops said Trump faked his own shooting. They saying that. I don't have the proof. I'm not the one, but there are a lot of people, man. I know one way to tell is the ear still split. That's one way to tell Operations Truth. Operations Truth. I'm not going to be just jumping on the theories, but it would be easy. Let's get a footage of that ear, right? But thank you for sharing that. No scars, no nothing. But man, we under some serious times, man. And also on that story with Tyler Reed, Jasmine Crockett is going to pay for the funeral, you know, and I hope somebody else help with the family expenses, you know, help the mom carry on. So that's story is sad and needs more coverage for sure. Whites aren't the problem, bad people are. Most of us whites love all. I don't know if it's most, but I know there's a lot of people that don't like us, man. Right? Eli, I'm not saying you probably one of the good ones, but there's a lot of people because it ain't just one state. If y'all remember, the Rodney King beating was in LA, right? So if anybody didn't see the beating of Rodney King was a guy, he got pulled over in the car by the police in California, right? They were caught on video. This is like the first video footage because black people have been saying it for the longest. Hey, man, police brutality, they beating us. They've been doing this since the 60s, killing some people. But anyway, this was the first video footage, one of the first that I know of. When they caught Rodney King, they beat him with the billy clubs. They beat him so bad he would turn. It was like 4 or 5 white cops that was beating this black man, right? The white cops requested to get, they didn't want to have the court in LA county. They chose a white county outside of LA and they went there. You know, they found them not guilty. They had it on footage and black people were so happy. We got them on tape. We got them now. There's no way out. White people, and I'm leading back up to my man said, the problem isn't white people, is bad people. But it's sad is a lot of white people that I don't know if you call them good or bad. You make that determination, but they don't care much about black people, or they think black lives don't matter. And they found them cops, all 4 of them cops that beat that man senseless. They found them not guilty. Austin V, what are you talking about, man? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like, and then like even up to 2025, a lot of black people saying, no, Charlie Kirk is not my hero. I don't care how much y'all try to praise him. That man said very disparaging things, right? Borderline racist things about black people. And the consensus, because Eli, you was talking about so many good white people. There's a lot of white people that did not mutter a word when he was speaking negatively about black people. And that's where black people stand. They're like, what? How can y'all raise this man to the highest heights? And y'all know what he said. It's on video what he said about black people. Either y'all agree with it. So there's a lot of white people that's racist. And I say racist in a spectrum. They might not even be the ones that going out hanging people, right? But they still feel some type of way towards black people for no reason. So that's what I'm saying. Amen. Free. I'm not even responding to that. What did Charlie say to hurt your feelings? And nothing to hurt my feelings, man. If I'm speaking on it, then I'm speaking on it. You watch the video, and if it ease your soul with the things he said about black people, more power to you. I'm not trying to convince you and pull you over how y'all trying to do us. Come on over. You should be worshiping him. Not my hero, man. We're trying to pin mass shootings on black folks. Come on, man. Do rag. Thank you for sharing that. He said the guy's last words were trying to pin mass shootings on black folks. Come on, man. There's a lot of stuff. That's why I say they on that spectrum. Because there's a lot of good church folks, man, that support him. They don't see nothing wrong in anything that he said about our brains being small. Because if you're talking about my sisters, you're talking about me, man. They don't have the thinking capacity. DEI, and then when you say DEI, you're making it as if it's black people. As I told y'all, man, white women, #1 on DEI, followed by #2, white men. Black people like 5th on the line. They said, what Espine was that we look? Okay. What did he say? I just said it, New Foundation Fathers of America. Okay, here you go, the founders of America. Boy, these they didn't change the name from the K's to the New Founding. What did he say? He never said nothing racist. Listen, man, as far as that's concerned, I'm not even going to entertain that with y'all, man. I'm not going to entertain that with y'all. I talk to my brothers and sisters because we're going to have a true conversation and we're going to be concerned about each other. But y'all come here, y'all know what he said. Y'all watched him, y'all followed him. You research what he said, man. Listen, man, when Jimmy Kimmel got fired, none of y'all said, watch the whole video. As soon as he said the little clip, what he said, right? That Charlie Kirk's suspect is MAGA. Y'all didn't say nothing about watch the whole hour video. It don't take for me to watch the whole hour video. He said what he said, and that's what he believed. James said Trump is literally dismantling the Constitution. Yeah, I don't know if you was on, James, or not. He also trying to, the First Amendment, he's attacking that. He's the reason that ABC, Disney fired Jimmy Kimmel. But as I told y'all, because of the support that Jimmy Kimmel got, guess what? Disney are in talks with Kimmel's people, and they trying to figure out to get him back on there. So they're talking right now. So yeah, Trump is doing a lot of stuff. Jeff said, but Jimmy lied though. Okay, I don't know what he lied about. He said that man was MAGA, and that man is MAGA. Get over it. See how y'all try to do? Obama did it. We talking about Trump right now. Y'all some funny dudes, man. Obama deported more than any other president in history. Okay, why? When Trump run, he said, Democrats don't care about deportation. Y'all want to have it both ways, man. Nothing but lies, man, from the pits of hell. Lies from the pits of hell. If he deported the most people, okay, it was bipartisan. What's going on right now is not bipartisan. Trump is not even going to Congress. As he taking money, as he do this, he bypassing Congress. So stop talking like you care about America and we're going to do the right thing and all that. Trump has completely did the wrong thing, and y'all continue to support him. Jeff said, truth does matter, bro. Okay. I know that. But you under a president that truth doesn't matter because he can say anything to some of y'all, right? And y'all just go with it. The Haitians are eating cats and dogs. They're eating people too. Come on, man. Listen, man, that's a lot. Austin, that's a lie from the pits of hell. He put more money in his pocket than any other president. We can agree on that. He making billions off a coin, man. He supposed to be focused on his country. He focused on himself, man. And that's all we telling you. Justin Bremer said, I agree with you on that. This man supposed to be focusing on his country because his country is in shambles right now. We ain't even got a relationship with our allies. The relationship with Canada, he messed up. The relationship with Mexico, he messed up. China, India. And now with the lady with the call the police at the plant in Georgia, they're gonna have problems with the South Koreans because they done locked up what 300 and something South Koreans who over here trying to help, start that plant. Hey, listen, man, I ain't got no problem. See how y'all try to divide and conquer? That's some of Trump's stuff, and that's some of the rhetoric, the same thing that Charlie Kirk be spitting. Would you agree that black communities need the money that's going to the illegals? No. I ain't got no problem with who y'all call illegals. They're behind Kirk's. Who's behind Kirk's assassination? A white MAGA killed Kirk. So that was within. That's something y'all got to deal with. But y'all think it's sweet. We're going to blame the black people. He stopped putting money in their hands. I'm diving anything. Okay. Oh, only the black communities. Thank Dr. J. Thank you, Dr. J. I didn't know if you were still around or not. I got to go. It's been great. Love to you all. Jeff, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming and sharing. I ain't going to be on here much longer. No Israel and American government. Facts are coming out now. It was MAGA, man. Y'all can try to twist the truth. See, that's what Trump and them is trying to do. He want to control everything. He want to control these networks, and not just Fox, because he already got them. He's trying to control ABC, NBC, everybody, right? Through threats and all that. They said the best job I ever had was working in Detroit as just another white guy. Difference in the people and our culture and community. Those scared people who won't get out of that comfort zone. Thank you, Keith, for sharing that. Thank you. That was good because I think, I guess you was at a plant, right? Said the differences are people, our culture, and community. Stop it. Dr. J, you're going to have me go on my dictionary with that word. Dr. J, we know you're a teacher and all that. You know you're a teacher, Doc. Justin Bieber, I didn't understand that second word. You said Trump and you talking about Neanderthals? Who are you talking about? I did my research. He was leftist. He was not leftist. Y'all only saying that because he had a gay person, he had a trans in the apartment, right? And because, or whatever y'all trying to throw together. Oh, she was talking about that topic, him. It was framed. Listen, it was MAGA, and y'all got to get over it, man. I know y'all want to change the narrative, but y'all can't change truth. Y'all got alternative truth. One of his best friends did it. They did a interview with one of his best friends, one of his closest friends, right? Because the media tried to put out that narrative. He was leftist, and they put out the text. They got a whole nother text thing, man, that y'all ain't checked out yet. Check out the interview with one of his closest friends. He said he wasn't even political like that. So this thing is just somebody who had problems with their own mind and didn't like certain things about him. Everything ain't left and right. I know y'all try to do that, and Trump try to tell y'all everything is either left or right. They either left or right. That ain't always the case, man. He probably just didn't like certain things about him, right? He called him a fascist. Y'all say y'all don't agree with fascists, or do y'all agree with, what is it? Listen, his grandma said they try to twist what the family said, right? Because they control the majority of the media right now. I read that what you saying. The grandma said they all was MAGA. They never was saying that he was leftist. But that's the narrative they want to put out for y'all because they know y'all Ain't gonna look no further than that. Y'all gonna go with whatever they say. We all need to stand together, black, white, Hispanic, and look through the narrative they want us to go with and see all the same. Blessing to you and yours. Eli, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Right. But this is the problem for some, especially white people. We're not your footstool. Them days are over. And I know y'all expect us to be the footstool. Y'all can say to us anything, treat us any kind of way. For us to really love each other, y'all got to bring some respect to the table, because it's a different time right now. Too many homeless citizens, veterans, elderly, but someone that gets here yesterday gets vouchers. I'm not hating, man. See how you doing? Stop it. You spreading the hate, the same hate that they want you to spread. Right? I ain't got no problem with none of them, man. I don't fall for them tricks. We are all on edge, and that's the thing, right? But our problems don't matter to some, right? But they want everybody, y'all got to worship Charlie Kirk. He's your hero, not my hero. And I don't wish no ill on him or family. Good, wish the best on his family. But we all on edge, man. All our lives are valuable. Your life ain't no valuable than mine. Your people ain't no more valuable than my people. And that's what we need to get. Brenda said, preach, brother. Mexico deporting Venezuelans and calling it expelling. Why? Because financially it's not sustaining. This topic, man. Listen, I respect your views and your opinions, but you ain't gonna come on here and get me to hate Latinos and any other minorities when white people doing a whole bunch of stuff that you not calling out. You don't even call, not just you, but y'all don't call out white folks stuff. Y'all call out everybody else's stuff, right? To get us to be divided and conquered amongst one another. That's not what's up, man. That ain't right. I'm drinking that H2O. I don't care what y'all drink. Drink what you want to drink. I got that good H2O, man, but stay hydrated. We're about to shift. Man, going to the fall and to let it cool off a little bit, but it's still hot. So be careful out there. Make sure you stay hydrated. It said today hate. I never mentioned that. No, hate. You don't have to mention the word hate for it to be hate, man. That's not what I'm saying, right? To try to get us to divide or hate other people or point out the Mexicans or the black people. That's hate in itself. That's all I'm saying. Austin said, Mark, you're a product of your environment. You're from the hood, ain't you? You're a product of that. Keith said, it's a shame some view others as lower than themselves. Unfortunately, loud voices grab attention. Yeah. Dr. J said, Dasani Aquafina, get Mark a call. Let's get that sponsorship going. Thank you, Dr. J. And don't say it. That's my point. This topic, man, I appreciate you coming through, man, and being willing to share your viewpoints. Austin V, but what you said, what did you mean, Austin V, when you said, Mark, you're a product of your environment? Explain that to me, man. Staying on business on what you meant when you said that, Austin, because you're the one said it. What did you mean when you said, Mark, you're a product of your environment? What environment? What did you really mean? See, that's what I'm talking about, like these dog whistles and different phrases y'all throw out. So, Austin, tell me what you mean when you said, what did you mean when you said I'm a product of my environment? Or are you generally saying everybody is a product of their environment? Or just me? I mean, what was you trying to say? Stand on business, man. Stand on business. Listen, everything everybody do. I'm not saying you're right, but I'm gonna just make something clear to you, Austin V. This apply even to you. What you just said to me applies to you. I'm gonna break it down for you, man. Right? Pepsi, Coca-Cola, any of these companies invest a lot of money, right, to sell you things. So you watch the videos, when you go to the movies, they're gonna advertise to you. They invest a lot of money. Why? To talk to your brain. Same thing with the MAGAs, conservative. They spend a lot of money to talk to you. So when you say that, I can say the same thing for you, right? That's why a lot of your stuff be, to the right, because they bombard you with that. That's what you got to do. Isolate yourself from your environment. Then you may be able to think for yourself instead of you regurgitating. I don't go listen to what Trump say, what no man say. I'm a grown man. I stand on my own 2 feet. There's no man that I say I vow to, and I just try to echo what they say. None. I don't study nobody before I come on. I know what's right and wrong, and I go from there. Brenda said, pay them no mind. Keep doing the Lord's love. Work. Your words are kind and empathetic. Thank you. He said, come on, product of your environment. That's BS. Is Dr. Carson a product of his environment? Let's use a couple brain cells. Thank you, Keith, for saying that. You say conservative, which one? Are you saying all? Conservative would be a spectrum too, just like, thank you, Dastopic. So now I'm gonna go to my point. They're not all the same. Just like that, the suspect that shot Charlie Kirk, he's a conservative and he's not all the same. So thank you for making my point, Dastopic Society. Thank you. He is one of y'all. He might not be the ones that agree with every specific thing. That's why he had an issue with Charlie Kirk. He listened to him, evidently, but there's some things that he didn't agree with, even with Charlie Kirk. So thank you, Dastopic. Yeah, I understand that they're all different kind of conservatives, but the base, when you talk about a base, you're talking about like a level, a threshold. Is a threshold of where the majority sits, and then there's some that's this way, and there's some that's that way. That's what I mean by the spectrum. Dr. J said, speak on it, Mark. Austin B said, I used to think just like you. God bless. How do you know you think? This man said he used to think, I used to think just like you until I grew up. I was a child one time, just like you, and now I grew up. The shooter is not conservative. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because that's a touchy one for y'all. Yo, that's a touchy one for y'all. Y'all gonna end up hurting somebody over that. He wasn't conservative. He was liberal. That man didn't even practice politics like that. He was raised MAGA, conservative. I mean, he was raised conservative, right? He didn't go that far to the left. Even if he made it, if the threshold was here and that's where he grew up at, he might have slid, this way or that way. I don't know. There's no proof to say that he was liberal. Y'all trying to say because he messed with a trans. You care to check it. Some of your politicians that y'all worship, ain't no telling what they do, what kind of parties they have. So don't use that to say whether he's liberal or conservative. His neighbors, parents, local PD, FBI, and his own Discord messages prove he's a leftist. Go watch the video with one of his closest friends, man. Right? And then you'll get another perspective. Austin V, take offense. I be laughing at y'all. You talking about take offense. Austin V, come on, man. I thank you for supporting the channel, though. That's one thing I do. I thank you for coming through here, supporting the channel, and getting some of this food, man. I hope that you have a pen and you're taking notes, right? You ain't got to admit it on here, but I hope that you do have your pen, Austin V, and you do take some notes. And when you get done with the live, go study it a little bit. He's like, yo, these dudes are funny dudes, man. There are 8 or 9 different conservatives. Yeah. Oh, battery is about to fall out, about to run out. That's according to the fan. Do consider myself a conservative. Keith said, I consider myself a conservative. We need to listen to other people's views and take them into consideration. All subjects have different viewpoints. Right. That's just like school. You got different subjects, but the sad reality in that, Keith, and thank you for sharing that, but the sad reality right now under President Trump, he's at a threshold. If you disagree with him either way within that threshold, he going at your throat. So you're gonna have all these differences, but bottom line is y'all better bow down to that threshold when it comes to President Trump. And that's where we at. That's the reality he is. This man want to fire, somebody because they can't put charges. They did the investigation. They say we didn't find anything. You better find something. And they want to fire. This is President Trump. This is President Trump, man. And this is the world we live in. And I know y'all can't agree with that, man. It got to be a point where we stop this. Why? Because we will end up into a Hitler's Germany if we're not careful. Laura said, agreed. We have to have both sides to keep the other under control. To keep the other under control. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. But see how, I don't know where you get this thought from. Control. Nobody controls nobody for real, for real. But there should be a balance. But Trump is taking away even the balance. We got a balance in our government. Y'all remember, right? The 3 governments, and it's the 3 because you want the balance. Trump has we off balance right now because Trump is not going through Congress and he don't care nothing about these judges. James White Jr., thank you. It said, y'all really don't see what's coming, and they don't. They getting the warning, but they think it's a joke because it's not going to affect them. They think in their mind. He said, we're getting into communist territory. And that's what all I'm saying. I don't represent this one or that one. I just know what I'm saying is not right. It ain't normal. It should not be happening. And we should not normalize this. He said, that's why it's a 2-party system. Good, Laura. Thank you. Also, B said, Mark, I think your viewpoints are interesting, and it's great to hear and try to understand how your viewpoints become so sheep-like. Yo, okay. Keith said, keep yourself under control. Don't worry about others. And that's the thing, right? We got to get out of this thing that we control people, or we can't do that, right? If you have children, you can't even control your children. Like, because once they hit 11, 12, they're going to start making their own minds up. So we ain't controlling nobody. Do you have any knowledge of what Biden? Lord, thank you for sharing that. But on this live here today, I do, to answer your question, on this live here today, we stand on the topics that we're talking about, right? The last thing, I know you came in a little late, but the last thing I was talking about is how they found a young African-American hung on a college campus. Do you have insight on that? Or what are your thoughts about that? They initially ruled it a suicide, right? Upon further investigation, they say either his leg or his arm were broke, right? They haven't released any footage yet, but there is footage on the campus. Attorney Ben Crump is now, the family has hired attorney Ben Crump, and now they're demanding to get that footage. So we would love to see the footage of what actually happened. But Laura, I want to hear your thoughts on that. What do you think about a young African-American being found hung from a tree? It just happened like recently. This is like recently, September. I'm not mistaken. He said, my kids are 31 and 33. Try controlling them. Not happening. Listen, at 11 and 12, they start making their own minds up. So you're not going to control nobody. Even Amanda's girlfriend, right? Try to control her and see what happens. She's going to start sneaking off, right? If you don't give them breathing room. So the point is, nobody controls nobody. Austin V says, sad. Yeah, it is sad, man. But the thing about it, like, this just happened and it wasn't getting the coverage because everybody was talking about Charlie Kirk, right? And Charlie Kirk's story does need coverage, right? Y'all want to know what's going on in our society, but that story needs just as much coverage as well. Laura said do some research. She needed to do some research on that. Thank you, Laura. But that's what's going on in our society, man. You can't control, but you can guide. You can guide your young children, right? And maybe your older children, you may be able to give them advice, but you ain't gonna be even guiding them. You know, you can try to guide them all you want. But thank you, Austin B, for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Listen, man, y'all have gave some, man, y'all have been spot on today, and we're not gonna always agree. But this is one thing, and I'm gonna preach it to the mountaintops, man. Black lives matter. I'm not talking about no organization. I want y'all to be very clear. I'm not talking about an organization, any type of organization, when I say Black Lives Matter. I'm saying that Black lives matter. Laws are a vehicle of control, order. It is your view we need. It is your view. We need no control. See how y'all try to twist it? That's not what I'm not even talking in that sense. I'm talking about controlling people, right? Like a man try to control a woman. We understand about law and order. We understand that, man. But see how y'all do, y'all? That's why I laugh at y'all, man. You say that as to say some think they don't. Okay. Listen, man. I want to say thank y'all, man, because you know, some of y'all bringing good information. At least some of y'all, I'm getting a good laugh. You know, I get to giggle a little bit, even though we're dealing with some real serious times, right? And I'm passionate about this. I love my people, man. I love all people, but I specifically love my people, man. So I want to thank y'all for coming and sharing your viewpoints. You know, it's question, bro. Okay. Okay, they do things just because we are scared to go to jail. True divide is the wealthiest 2% and the rest of us. Orange Man said it. He said the true divide is the wealthiest 2% and the rest of us. That's when I tell people because you only hear, for the most part, you hear the right talking about the leftists or the left. Listen, all that Democrat and Republican thing is practically over under Trump because it's about Trump, his billionaire buddies. He was talking about the 2%. It's Trump and his billionaire buddies, and it's the rest of us. He made executive orders to benefit billionaires, not regular taxpayers. We are scared of getting shot. When I brought up control, I meant the other side is a whole checks and balance, the pendulum swing from left to right. Okay, thank you, Laura. The Stopic said something real good. He said we're at a point where the government's out of control, society is out of control, and how do we reel that in? Great question. The wealthiest 2% or Democrats. Everything go back to Democrats and Republicans. Listen, man, they got us warped. Now, I'm not saying me, but some of us are warped into this mindset. Everything ain't left and right, right? Even if it is, that shouldn't be the first thing to come. If somebody do something, they're gonna be like, was he left or was he right? He did it. Let's deal with the issue. What happened? Or if somebody need help, are they left or are they right? Come on, man. We got to get out of that. Susan said, I'm an old white person, 74. This is more crazy than the 60s. It is. It's worse. What? And what makes it really bad, we got resources. We already made progress. And now we're willing to go backwards. Orange Man, cities are made of all races, but if you only see races, you are still asleep. Thank you, Orange. Okay. That was good stuff. Listen, man, I thank y'all, man, for the continued rich people don't have left, right. I work personally with billionaires and they only see us versus them. You better believe that EQ. You hit the nail on the head. Bing! You hit the nail on the head, man. But listen, man, James Dixon, there you are. I've been looking for this channel. James Dixon, man, well, make sure you subscribe then. James said, I've been looking for you. You've been hiding from me. James Dixon, make sure you subscribe, man, so we won't miss each other, right? Because you might lose me again. So at least subscribe to the channel. James said he was looking for the channel, but there you go. 2% own men. Yeah. James, did you subscribe, sir? You said you've been looking for me now. If you've been looking for me, you're going to have to subscribe, or at least the more you keep coming in, it'll bring it back up. Even if you don't subscribe, that'll be your choice. Keith said, oh, almost forgot. Everyone read the word. It's good for you. I'm going to read a verse today then, man. I'm going to find a verse, Keith, since you said that. James said, I love black people and I love righteous people also. Color these days are distracting from the true things God has for us. James said, how do you subscribe? I don't know from your end. I guess somebody tell him how to subscribe from that end. Why would they say MAGA when things were tough back then? Kennedy and Johnson say we were here to the third world. Who wants to go back to that? Yeah. It's like in a society to Rome is burning. Yeah, we're imploding from inside. I'm from Earth. You all my peoples. I love free people. Thank you for sharing that. Laura said Trump is the only president that is going to be worse off because he served all presidents. His entire family has been under investigation. He comes back and asks for it again. Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Dr. J, tell them how to subscribe to my channel from this. I guess come out and come out of this, go to my Dr. J, how do you subscribe? He want to know how to. Can you hit that link? Hit that link right there. It says subscribe by going to channel and press subscribe. Thank you. James, did you get that? Plus try that link. So I've told him, Mark. Lord, so I appreciate the reasonable discussion. Thanks. Thank you, Lord, for coming through. Okay. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. Listen, man. It's almost time for me to put something in my belly, give me something to eat. I enjoyed y'all today. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for the continued support. I want to say this. Dr. J is a content creator. She's also an educator. Check out Dr. J's channel. Make sure you check out Dr. J's channels. She do lives a couple of times a week, a couple of times a day sometimes. So make sure you check out Dr. J's channel. This is you, or the first I've ever subscribed to. I appreciate that. Susan said, thanks for your kindness. This was great, Mark. Thank you. All things here are meant to divide, to keep truth hidden. When we all come together, truths are known. Thank you. Glad I found you. Catch you next time. Do rag. Appreciate you. James, appreciate you. Oh, he said I got here too late. Yeah. Yeah, it's never too late, man. It's never too late. But yeah, we had a good conversation, man. I've been on here a minute. I want to thank you, James, that I'm glad that you found me again. James White said, I can rock with your channel. I just subscribe. Thank you, man. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. It ain't nothing but love. I appreciate y'all. We all got to do better, man. We all got to do better, starting with me. I even got to do better. But I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Until next time, man. Until next time. Y'all be safe out there, man. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. Love your brothers and your sister. Treat everybody right. Also said, God bless, Mark. We trying. I'm trying to. Please make sure subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Hit the notification so you can be notified anytime I hit the video. It said I had 3 channels. Subscribe. Okay. Always feel better after listening to your chat. James, my man. Okay, but I gotta go, man. I love y'all. Y'all take care, man. Like and subscribe. Until next time, man. Y'all be safe. Peace.